What's up, everyone? It's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and I want to open this video with a little bit of a disclaimer because this can obviously all change, and we don't know the full details of what it will eventually be down the line. But as it stands at the moment, take it with all the evidence given to us and all the reports given to us in the current climate and the current situation, and you will see and understand why I have my reservations at the point that I actually do. So, what is the point that I actually do, and whatever you want to call it? What's the point I'm getting at anyway? So we all know, currently it's the 5th of the 5th, 2017, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Edition released a week ago on Nintendo Switch. So it's basically the slightly upgraded Deluxe remaster Game of the Year edition. I don't know what you want to call it. Version of Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U ported over to Nintendo Switch with all the DLC and slightly better resolution and all that as well. It unfortunately has not been all sugar and rainbows. Now, what I mean by that is, yes, the game runs brilliantly. It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's arguably, possibly the best Mario Kart game there is. It's definitely tied there with Super Mario Kart, in my opinion. And yeah, so the most part is that's brilliant. Now, if you look at Nintendo's history, they have not always played nice with online and multiplayer online gaming in general. That goes all the way back to, I mean, hell, you can even look at the what was it, you could technically call it the Satellaview on the SNES, but I'm not going back that far. Let's go back just to the GameCube. It didn't ship with internal modems. You could buy either a 56k modem to slot into the bottom of it, or you could buy a broadband adapter to slot into the bottom of it. Funny enough, I got both of them because at first, when the GameCube was out around here, broadband was not a thing. There was no DSL, none of that, no cable, no T1, no T3, none of that stuff was around here when the GameCube first came out. So I was playing Phantasy Star Online and like Sonic Adventure Online features with a 56k modem, and then eventually I upgraded when we got broadband and all around here. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Let's get back on topic. So Nintendo have always had a bit of a weird relationship with online, between that situation I just listed on the GameCube, the fact that the Wii was, well, the Wii, it had built-in wireless but no LAN port. The same with the Wii U, it had wireless network built into it but no LAN port, which of course you can add to both of those consoles with a USB to Ethernet adapter, which is what I did on the Wii, and then to the Wii U with the same adapter, mind you, and which is now being used on my Nintendo Switch. And that brings me to the latest one, the Nintendo Switch. It has Wi-Fi built in, obviously, but the dock, obviously the physical console cannot have an Ethernet port on it. But the dock could have, for some reason, it costs an absolutely minuscule amount from a manufacturing standpoint. It's approximately 50 cent, approximately 50 cent to include a network port and the technology to actually have your network port working. It's ridiculous why it wasn't included. But anyway, USB to Ethernet goes in there just fine, and that works perfectly. So when you look at the Wii, we'll forget the GameCube and we'll forget the Wii. Look at the Wii U, because that's the more recent failure. I say failure almost lovingly, but not really. And the Nintendo Switch, obviously, at the moment. So they're the current ones. You could even almost forget the Wii U. But when they've always had a bit of a weird situation with online, especially with these two consoles. And that brings us to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Edition. Now, before we get into this part, I do want to go back and talk that when in January of this year, before the Nintendo Switch actually launched, when Nintendo had their big presentation, they actually announced that there will be an online paid subscription service required to play multiplayer games online via the internet on Nintendo Switch. That will be coming later on this year with no full details on it. There's numbers thrown out everywhere, but I don't know where people are getting these. It's rumored to be $20. It's rumored to be 25. It's rumored to be 30. It's rumored to be 50. It's rumored to be 60. There's absolutely no rumors about that whatsoever. People are just being retards and just getting this out of absolutely anywhere. And like, I can pull a number out of the sky right now. It's going to be $9.99 a month. Boom, cheapest right there. Look, I can post that. I'm a Nintendo person. Anyway, yeah, that's off topic. I'm just getting a bit frustrated at people being stupid. But so we don't know many details about that at the moment, especially the cost, and something that I'm going to talk about that is a huge glaring issue now in a minute. But until then, until later this year, when that becomes required, online multiplayer is currently free on Nintendo Switch. So if you're playing something like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Super Bomberman R or probably Ultra Street Fighter 2 at the end of the month, you'll be able to play online for free temporarily. Now, the big thing about that is, Jesus, how long have I been talking? I haven't even got to the point. 6 minutes. Wow. I ramble a lot. I really need to script these videos or just at least script the talking points so I don't just ramble off topic. Anyway, there have been a number of huge, big issues when playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe online. Now, all of these point to one big thing that we're going to get to in a minute. But there's posts everywhere. You can look almost everywhere. And with the exception of staunch Nintendo defending fanboys, which will say, oh, I've never seen an issue, my game has run perfect, therefore everyone else is wrong. Those people are idiots. It's that simple. Those people are idiots. To be completely oblivious just because you've had no problems is absolutely stupid. Especially when these reports are highly numerous, highly enumerated. Is enumerated the right word? Anyway, they're massive in number. There you go. That's a better way of describing it. And they range from a variety of different things. There's massive. Now, when I say massive, I mean severe versions of lag during the actual game. There's a lot of reports of disconnects as well, and in-game kind of glitches and tomfoolery, all relating to like netcode and as well as a connection. It'd be things like, for example, you'll hit someone with a shell, they'll keep driving, but you've clearly hit them, and the coins will drop out of them, indicating they've been hit, but at the same time, they never stop or spun out or anything, they just kept going. The most common, no, not common, that's not the right word. The most upvoted and the most popular of these comments is the one I'm going to read here now from a user who's he's described his experience with the whole Mario Kart 8 Deluxe issues anyway. So he says, far too often I will land a hit on an opponent, usually with a visual cue that it landed, like my character cheering, only for the player to continue on like nothing has happened, and in battle mode, no points being given to me in races. I will see coins fly out of a character alongside my cheer, but the driver will continue ahead and win a race that should have been secured for me. So that's a big issue. Stuff like this is a big issue, and it's all going to stem into what I'm about to say right now, okay? So the big thing to do with that is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe uses what's called a peer-to-peer network connection. For those of you who don't know what that is, it maybe you're not up on this kind of thing. Most online games, I'm gonna, because I almost gave away what I was about to say in a minute. Most online games, wait a minute, I almost gave it away again a second time. So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, here we go, I'll get it right this time, third time's the charm. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, when using its peer-to-peer connection, what that is that means you are basically connecting directly through the internet to someone else's Switch, and they're hosting the game on their, like, if there's, what is that, I think it's 8-player online. I haven't played it online myself, but if it's 8-player online, for example, let's say, one of those particular people who the game deems to have the best connection, that person is hosting the game on their Switch. And all other 7 people are connecting directly to that person's Switch via the internet. And then the race is being hosted on their thing, and all the actual progress is being happening on that person's Switch. And then it's being sent to the players and what they do is being sent back. So that's how a peer-to-peer connection works. Now, this is what I'm going to say, and the big point of this video that I've been kind of dragging out for way too long. This is unacceptable. Now, most people will say, oh, I'm overreacting and all that. But no, this is completely unacceptable. To use a peer-to-peer connection. Now, this is, of course, all hinging on the fact that Nintendo are expecting us to pay for this service later in the year. If they expect us to pay to play games online, it is absolutely 100% unequivocal, I don't know the proper variation of that word, unacceptable to have a paid subscription service that uses a peer-to-peer connection, because it uses, but it basically means that Nintendo are doing absolutely zero anything from a network aspect of it. They are literally just charging you to connect to someone else's Switch. Think of it this way. It will be the equivalent of you bringing your Switch to your friend's house who also has a Switch. You're playing local multiplayer, not via the internet. Your wireless LAN directly connected to his console. And Nintendo would be charging you for that. That's essentially what it is. Now, what I almost gave away a few times a few minutes ago is that almost every proper game and big name game, hell, even some of the smaller name games in the last decade, if not even longer, use online servers. A lot, not all, but a lot of the PlayStation 4 games use dedicated PlayStation Network servers. The PlayStation Network may be useless and their servers are terrible, but they use dedicated servers. What that means is there's a server sitting in we'll call it a warehouse, a server farm, and the game is being hosted on that, and everyone is connecting on there, and obviously that server is going to have maintenance costs, and it's going to be set in an environment that is designed to have a game running on it the whole time with proper online network infrastructure. It's going to be set in a building that has massive proper data access, and you get my point, versus some random dude who's living in a shack in the middle of Mississippi with, some sort of Wi-Fi bouncing off his tin roof on a clothes hanger to host your game. Now, you get my point. So almost all games, especially these days, when the Xbox One was being released, Microsoft made the move from something like 3,000 dedicated servers to something like 300,000 dedicated servers for their online games for Xbox One. And that's because they're using that, and it's the same with Microsoft and the same with Sony. It's designed to give you a better experience, and they can charge you for it because they're going out of their way and providing something for it. They're providing the servers. Those servers require data caps. The servers require to be rented. They have data plans to go with them as well. So there's a lot of stuff in there. Microsoft and Sony are doing that. Now, for Mario Kart, since it's using peer-to-peer, if this game, or if any, let's go with the broader spectrum. A couple of months from now, when Nintendo actually start charging for their online multiplayer, if any of the new games use peer-to-peer connection, it is 100% an absolute joke. And as much as it kills me to say this, because I am a huge Nintendo fan, I actually expect Nintendo will do this. And I expect them to use peer-to-peer. So they are literally doing nothing for you and charging you to play online. That's the way this is basically going to work, or at least the way I foresee it to work. Now, back to Mario Kart. Maybe, who knows, maybe 6 months down the line when this paid online subscription comes in. Oh, I almost forgot what I was going to say. Oh yes, maybe it will be patched or it will be changed or something like that to not use peer-to-peer for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it will switch to the actual servers. Now, all of this completely ignores the fact that there's no voice chat on the Switch. You have to use an app, a smartphone app, for proper matchmaking and proper voice chat. Well, not just proper voice chat, but any voice chat on the Nintendo Switch. And this app is not available yet, as far as I know. It wasn't available a few days ago. Or at least I couldn't find it. So all of this compounded together. The fact is that Nintendo need to use dedicated servers for... They should be using them already. That's a given. Okay, they should be using them already. But if they expect you to pay for this, be it $20 a year, be it $30 a year, $50 a year, $60 a year, $100 a year, whatever. Why am I saying dollars? I'm talking in euro. But you get my point. If they expect you to pay anything for it, they need to provide you something with what your money is going towards. And that does not include this one crappy rental a month that they're going to give you. Oh, you get a NES game to play for 1 month. Or you get a SNES game to play for 1 month. Not good enough. That shouldn't be a factor at all. That should be icing on the cake. And if they expect, I'm going to say it one last time, if they expect to charge people to use peer-to-peer connections, online multiplayer for the Nintendo Switch is in serious, serious trouble. It's that simple. The Wii U is already a ghost town. The Mario Kart on the Wii U has been a ghost town for a while. No, not Nintendo Switch. Super Smash Bros. On the Wii U is also a ghost town. Every other game basically has no one playing it. And the Nintendo Switch, I think, would be in a pretty bad situation. And it could join the online quote servers, unquote. It could join the ranks of those very, very soon if Nintendo messed this up. And as unfortunate and as much as it kills me to say it, I do expect them to mess it up, because while they have done a couple of things right with the Switch, there's no denying they've done some serious, serious glaring issues with the Switch, and not to mention the entire Wii U. So it could go either way, and unfortunately, based on experience and everything I've seen, it's kind of leaning towards that. So what do you think anyway? What's your experience with this? Will you gladly pay for this service even if it's peer-to-peer? Will it depend on price if it's peer-to-peer? Are you expecting servers? Do you think servers should be a bare minimum requirement in 2017 for a paid online subscription service? Again, I think they should. Or what is the deal with that? Have you experienced anything with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Edition? What is your overview with the whole Nintendo Switch Online thing, from the paid subscription to the servers or lack of which and peer-to-peer, and down to the whole app thing? That's really bizarre. So let me know all of that in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter, details in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the rest of the videos in my channel while we wait with bated breath to hopefully hear more proper details about the online subscription service for the Nintendo Switch, hopefully at their digital event at E3, because anything later is dangerous.